Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we're taking a beautifully illustrated magical storybook journey to explore a place called Low Earth Orbit, or LEO for short. It is literally the busiest, fastest, and absolutely most vital cosmic highway surrounding our planet. And by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly how it shapes your daily life. Let's get right into it. So, let's start with a massive, mind-boggling question. Honestly, it's one that naturally comes up whenever we look at the night sky. How on earth do those heavy metal boxes, some of these things are literally the size of a school bus. How do they just stay up there without crashing straight back down to the ground? It kind of feels like it defies gravity, right? Well, to figure this out, let's look at a classic, really simple science experiment. Picture a cartoon version of Isaac Newton standing on top of a huge mountain, holding a cannonball. And hey, quick disclaimer, please do not try throwing heavy objects around at home. But anyway, if you just drop the ball, it falls straight down, right? If you throw it hard, it lands a bit further away. But, and here's the magic, if you throw it incredibly fast, like 17,500 miles per hour fast, it moves sideways so quickly that as it falls, the curved surface of the Earth actually drops away at the exact same rate. It's basically falling continuously entirely around the curve of the Earth. So the absolutely crucial point here is that this sweet spot, this magical zone where things continuously fall around the Earth without hitting the ground, is called low Earth orbit. It's this super active region of space located right between 160 and 2,000 kilometers above our heads. And this next point brilliantly illustrates just how incredibly close this orbit actually is to us. If you imagine shrinking the entire planet Earth down to the size of a grapefruit you can hold in your hand, low Earth orbit wouldn't be way out in the distance. Not at all. It would simply be the extremely thin skin right on the outside of that grapefruit. It's practically skimming our atmosphere. But here's the catch. Because it is so close, gravity is pulling on these objects really strongly. So, to stay in that thin peel without falling back down, our cartoon satellites have to zoom sideways at that unbelievable speed of 17,500 miles per hour. Just to put that into perspective, that's about 7.8 kilometers every single second, way faster than a speeding bullet. All right, let's hop into our cosmic time machine for a second and see how humanity's presence in this busy highway actually developed. Because, we haven't always been throwing metal boxes up there. Our journey in LEO kicked off back in 1957 with the launch of the very first satellite, Sputnik. Then, after the Apollo moon missions wrapped up in 1972, our focus really shifted back closer to home. We put the brilliant Hubble Space Telescope up there in 1990, and get this, since the year 2000, human beings have been continuously living in LEO aboard the International Space Station. How cool is that? It actually leads to the staggering fact. Unless you were traveling to the moon over 50 years ago, every single astronaut has stayed right here in the LEO zone. Literally. For half a century, it has been humanity's absolute playground and our ultimate laboratory in space. So, why do we love it so much? Let's explore why this specific super fast orbit gives our satellites incredible real-life superpowers. Superpowers that, frankly, directly impact your life every single day. To really understand its power, we kind of have to look at its rival. When we compare LEO to geostationary orbits, which, by the way, are parked a massive 22,000 miles away, we see a huge difference in speed and, more importantly, in communication lag. Looking at the numbers, the difference is just massive. Because LEO is so close to Earth, light and radio signals travel there and back super fast. We call this low latency. With geostationary satellites, the signal takes a half-second round trip. Now that might sound small, but it completely breaks live video calls and fast-paced gaming. LEO is the exact reason your high-speed video games and video calls don't freeze up. And beyond just low-lag internet, LEO's extreme proximity makes it the absolute perfect place for looking back at Earth. These satellites track dangerous hurricanes to keep us safe, they take breathtaking high-resolution pictures for your map software, they aid in disaster management, and of course, they let astronauts do all those cool floating science experiments. But, of course, there's a catch. Because these zoom by our heads so incredibly quickly, a single satellite is only actually visible in the sky for a few minutes at a time. So, to provide continuous, unbroken internet all over the globe, we need giant teams of satellites. They're arranged almost like beads on a string, working together in what we call mega constellations, just to make sure you never lose your Wi-Fi signal. Now, with companies launching thousands of these new satellites, this amazing technology brings us to a really big, messy problem. Space is getting dangerously crowded, and flying in LEO is becoming incredibly complex. It's literally like a cosmic traffic jam up there. First off, up in LEO, there's this sneaky little force called atmospheric drag. Remember the grapefruit skin analogy? Because LEO is so close to the atmosphere, tiny, invisible air particles are constantly bumping into the satellites. It basically acts like invisible mud, slowly draining their energy and dragging them down toward Earth. And if they slow down too much, well, they'll drop entirely out of orbit and burn up. That's exactly why the giant International Space Station has to literally fire its rocket boosters every few months just to actively jump back up to a higher altitude. Crazy, right? But if avoiding invisible mud wasn't difficult enough, our busy highway is also filled with trash. The numbers here are just staggering. We are currently tracking over 34,000 large pieces of junk and an estimated 100 million tiny pieces. And remember, because everything is moving at 17,500 miles per hour, even a tiny speck of paint hits with the destructive power of a speeding bullet. No joke. Now, a major concern for scientists studying all this traffic is something called the Kessler syndrome. This is an analytical model that shows a terrifying domino effect, where one crash shatters a satellite, creating a giant cloud of fast-moving debris that then hits other satellites. If left unchecked, this cascading effect could eventually create a debris field so thick that it makes it incredibly difficult to safely launch new missions into space. So, to survive this cosmic obstacle course, our satellite heroes have to be really smart. We constantly track the junk from the ground. If there's a risk, a collision warning is sent out, and the satellite actually has to fire its little onboard thrusters to actively dodge out of the way. It's basically a high-stakes game of dodgeball in space. And here's another thing. Even when responsible operators ensure their old satellites crash into the atmosphere to burn up safely so they don't become space junk, a whole new issue arises. They leave behind vaporized metals like aluminum, right in the stratosphere. Scientists are currently studying what this new environmental variable actually means for our planet's atmosphere in the long run. Okay, what an absolute roller coaster of a journey. It's time to gather up everything we've learned in this explainer and distill it down. Let's look at our 5 major scientific takeaways. Definitely remember these 5 points. 1, Leo is right above us, kind of like the skin on a grapefruit. 2, you have to move at an absolutely incredible speed to avoid falling. 3, that close proximity is what gives us super fast, low-lag internet. 4, atmospheric drag is an invisible force constantly pulling you down. And 5, we urgently have to manage and clean up our space junk. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this really amazing thought. Because these satellites move so incredibly fast, it takes them just 90 minutes to fly entirely around the world. That means astronauts looking out the window of the space station get to see 16 beautiful sunrises and 16 sunsets every single day. How unbelievable is that? So, as this incredible cosmic highway gets more and more crowded with new technology every single day, we really have to ask ourselves, how will we balance all this rapid innovation with safety? How will we properly manage humanity's ultimate gateway to the stars? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep looking up and keep asking questions.